And the testing needs to happen early in the process, because if we're really getting things talked about, we need to know early on we're going to get things talked about, because we need to start involving all sorts of aspects of communications things. So we've created this little thing, which we're currently in the process of testing with Nestle in a whole load of countries in the world. So it's a serious piece of testing kit. We're talking to Procter & Gamble about testing it. It's just very simply takes the previous axis and turns it into something that's predictable and measurable. I won't take too long with the pieces, but you can see that if you've got something in the bottom left box, it's no use. No one's going to talk about it, and it changes the conversation negatively. So even if people do talk, they hate it, not a great place. Where people don't want to talk about it much, but when they do, it positively changes the conversation. Clearly, it's a good strategic thought, it's in the right place, it's just not sexy and exciting and talkable. Where something is very talkable, but negatively changes the conversation, is probably forgotten the strategy. And we all have seen campaigns do that in our past as well. It creates buzz, people talk about it, wow, have you seen that? It doesn't move the needle in terms of people saying good things. It's a bad thing, because if people say bad things, it drives your sales down, you saw the charts. Anyone, obviously, it's proper conversation leadership. And what we've done is we've basically said, imagine coming up with a number of ideas, being able to rank idea A versus idea B versus the average of all ideas, and say that idea is better than that idea. Now, you might think, oh, that's kind of obvious, we should be doing that. Well, just ponder for a second the current advertising development process we've been using since everyone started this business. We would do the research, we would write a brief, we would brief the creators, we'd look at the work, we would criticize it, we would send it back, we might do that 3 or 4 times. Then we something. Then we might choose to make it as a quick and rough, or even test it as a storyboard or an animatic. And then we would shoot it and make it. That process is quite long. Also, there's a lot of documentary evidence that a good idea executed badly researches well, and a bad idea executed well. And this explains some of the very strange results you get from your AI indices and things like that from Global Brand, because essentially they're testing the execution, which is fine. Do people get notice it? Do they like it? Do they whatever? It doesn't test the impact on the brand. It doesn't test what happens to people's willingness to talk about the brand in the long term. And the process we would suggest is something much neater. You brainstorm ideas as a management team. You and our top management team brainstorm ideas. It doesn't take so long. You'll always have thoughts and plans about I agree. You always have things you've always wanted to say. You end up with 5 or 6 you can all agree on. You then put it in online research. 2 weeks, 10,000 people, got you an answer. About 3 or 4,000 euros if you want to do it in multi-countries, and a lot less if you want to do it in one country. And you get your answer. That answer ranks them. You take the one that wins, you give that to the creative teams. Maybe you give it to more than one team. Then you end up with a choice of executions on an idea that you know has a high probability of being talked about positively. By the way, it saves money for us, much quicker. You're much happier because you know what the idea is very early on. And we can still spend time crafting the idea, which is crucial. Because as time frames compress and you want things quicker, as they compress, the problem is what gets squeezed, the creative time. So the crafting slips. I was talking to the campaign magazine team at lunch, and the quality of the work in India, do they feel it's better than last year or worse? How do I feel worldwide? What about the whole industry? Do we think crafting has got better? No. So the pressure of time, the pressure of the recession, what's happening is crafting gets killed. Because crafting has a place for what we need to do, cut the time down and begin.